In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is indeed his messenger. I greet my brothers and sisters, family members, viewers and listeners. In the greeting words of peace, we say, Assalamu alaikum. That simply means peace be unto you. Welcome to FahjrShow TV, Series 2 once again. I'm here with my beautiful wife and companion and counsellor and helpmeet in Sister Janet Aisha. Would you come and give some greetings, sister?
Yes, sir. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness also that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. And I'd like to extend greetings to the sisters of the MGT, the brothers of the FRY in the Nation of Islam, and that's throughout the earth. Because, yeah...
196,940,000 square miles. You know, we like to rattle off those numbers, brothers and sisters.
What's it mean?
Kick them. We'll get into that over the course of this series, by Allah's grace and mercy.
Yeah, but the Nation of Islam isn't just a South London thing. It's not just a Loughborough Junction thing. It's throughout the earth, and I think that's something that we really need to remember. Whether they're mosques or study groups, they're all over the place. Trinidad, Jamaica, America, as we know here, you know, Europe, Georgia. I didn't know Georgia. Northern Ireland as well. So, you know, we are a multinational set of people, you know, and that needs to be appreciated.
Well, on a wider scale also, Islam meaning submission to the will of the Most High God. Because, you know, we look at the name Nation of Islam and think, you know, suit and bow tie, necessarily. But that's not necessarily all that it means. You know?
And that's particularly why I said throughout Europe as well, because when Minister Farrakhan done his world tour, and the boys and I studied it, our boys and I studied 34 countries that Minister Farrakhan went to on the last leg of his tour, and he went from all over the place, Bermuda, all the way to Europe, Russia, you know, where the people look white like snow, as my mum said, and they put their lives on the line for him, you know, publicly, which was wonderful.
Okay.
We've talked about Stop the Killing, and that's something that Minister Farrakhan has said over the past 20 years even. You know, since the 80s he went on the Stop the Killing tours, which then headed up the, which preceded the Million Man March and Million Family March, and, you know, and from there on. Then we spoke about Stop the Killing and Start the Living. So rather than just stopping the killing, we've got to replace it with something. We've got to put things in place for ourselves, our families, our children, in order for us to be able to move on from where we are.
Okay.
And that's where the building society came from. And last week we talked about shift work.
Yeah, I was really analysing that, and I've just put down a few notes on just the word shift work. You know, shift work, shift mind, shifting our attitude, which will shift our altitude. You know, just by shifting our work or shifting the work that we have to do. I looked at shift work as a direction or a directive, you know. Somebody telling you, shift work, move your work, you know, move yourself from one place to another. I looked at it from, you know, Satan has come and shifted our work today, which is why we're in the condition that we're in. You know, Allah, God gave Adam a job description, you know, to tend the garden, you know, to overcome everything, to reproduce, to multiply, you know, and tend the garden. That work has been shifted. Allah has come today and the garden isn't tended no more, you know. So there's so many different ways you can look at that term, shift work.
Yeah, Allah told Adam, he said go out and name those things. He told Adam to become a master over all of those things. And we were made, it's out in our nature to master those things, but we've actually been, our purpose has been shifted by somebody else, outside forces, so that we've actually become servants rather than mastering. And Minister Farrakhan spoke about the attitude that we have towards doing things. If we have the attitude of a master, we'll be able to master it. You know, it doesn't mean that it won't take work, and it doesn't mean that we won't have to shift our attitude even, and attitude is a big one for us as black people.
Tell me about it.
Right, it doesn't mean...
Screw face, you know. Practice it in the mirror, you know.
Sometimes. It doesn't mean... It doesn't mean that we won't have to work hard. It means that it will take a lot of effort for us, and I think that's really where where the shift work came from, because there's a recent saying, father shifts mean leaves, mother works shifts. You know, mother's always working, and children shift for themselves. And we spoke about shift and how we can shift, how we move from one place to another, move from one generation to another, and still maybe doing the same thing, because we're working shifts for somebody else rather than working on our own agenda, rather than working on our own selves and investing in our future. We're investing in somebody else's future, in their businesses, in their world, in their things, and ours are literally left to go to hell. So now we're in hell. We now have to look at what it is we're doing, why is we're in hell, and then make a shift, a physical, a spiritual, and a mental shift away from
Shift.
away from putting our energy into somebody else's building and somebody else's ideas and somebody else's programs, and into our own, in order for us to make a change.